So I used to be the team leader for at the IFC for a team that was charged with private sector development in post-conflict countries, and I was responsible for Liberia. So my job was to bring together professionals and professional disciplines to think about what could the World Bank Group broadly do that could support Liberia in its efforts to move forward after 27 years of civil war. And the approach that I took, of course, I didn't call it the Triple B framework then. This was many years ago in 2006, 2007, was that I tried to understand from a Liberian point of view, what were the poles of development that had existed throughout the 27 years of civil war? And that pole of development was completely missed, which again is a blind spot, by mainstream actors. And that pole of development were African market women. African market women hadn't gone anywhere. They had been there for the 27 years of the Civil War. And I was able to suggest that by going to and sort of giving the formal acknowledgement to the Association of Market Women, that we could then bring them into the architecture as understood by the World Bank Group. So I used cultural capital, knowledge capital, because my understanding of Liberia from a development economics point of view was really important for my reading of what we should do there. And of course, this was not your average. The project won awards in the IFC and so on, even after I left. But I think what I'm probably proudest of, and the part that has continued to be there, is that, of course, in addition to the market women who were a pole of success, there was the Liberian diaspora. And we in that study, we did a study as part of that work to actually research and identify where the Liberian diaspora had established itself in North America and to a lesser extent in Europe, so that we could identify non-traditional financial sources of financial capital or non-traditional sources of capital, so knowledge capital as well as financial capital that would sit in this diaspora. And those things were woven together in a package for the Liberian government, which then leveraged public finance from the World Bank, the traditional sort of operations department of the World Bank Group. I'm sure that at that time, they were probably giving Liberia grants from HIPIC as opposed to loans. And so once you get the catalytic capital going, you can then, take a country to market, whether it is through bonds, country bonds, or whether it is the individual corporates within a country issuing their own bonds as well. So it is programmatic. It is a programmatic approach. It takes years. It's long. It was again interesting to hear the president of GIP say something that I really sort of identify with, that deals move at the speed of trust. Any practitioner, any financier knows that trust is the most important thing. Getting paid is also useful because you can have trust without getting paid. But trust is really, really important. And so, of course, in that context, as a staffer of the World Bank Group, we were going in with a lot of the elements of trust building already made for us. But as RCV, what we have had to do is to really work hard to establish trust for with our clients so that we can then do the programmatic work of putting together those architectures.
Mhm. And I'm sure